Good evening, everyone. We are back with episode 2 of season 2 of the ICAI AI Hackathon. It's my privilege to welcome all of you to this exciting webinar on AI Hackathon use cases for members in industry and practice. Today's session is yet another step in exploring how AI can revolutionize our profession with practical and innovative solutions. Before we begin, I would like to highlight a milestone achievement for ICAI, particularly AI and ICAI. We have completed 100 batches of the AICA certificate course level 1 in just 100 days across pan-India locations. This reflects our commitment to empowering our members with AI skills for the future. We, on behalf of the AI and ICAI committee, would like to thank our ICAI and AI leadership, our distinguished faculty members, all ICAI branches and branch team members, and most importantly, our participant members who have been instrumental in achieving this historic milestone. I would like to request our tech team to play a short video on this great achievement. Tech team, please. Tech team. Now coming back, today we have the ICAI AI Hackathon Marathon episode 2 of season 2. And today we have 10 distinguished panelists who will be presenting their exceptional use cases today. These use cases will help our members better their professional acumen and to go further in the profession. Also, we would request our viewers to rate them on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 is highest and 1 is lowest. The voting lines are now open and you will be voting through the Zoom platform only. Also, the voting lines would be open till about 7:15. We would be intimating the end time during the course of the session. Also, I'd like to introduce and present CA Rishir Soni ji, our distinguished jury for today. CA Rishir was amongst the top 7 finalists of Hackathon Season 1. He's also a special invitee on the AI and ICAI committee and is also a faculty member for our AICA Level 1 certificate course. Now, without further ado, I would like to hand over controls to CA Rishis ji. Let's continue this journey of innovation and growth today by diving into AI's transformative potential for the accounting profession. Thank you for joining us, and I look forward to an engaging session ahead. Over to you, CA Rishir ji.
Thank you, sir. Very good evening, everybody. We have a great turnout of participants today, including our esteemed panelists. And I believe we'll be having a look at a lot of interesting use cases which can be helpful for CAs in practice as well as in industry. So as sir has already briefed about the voting and every other aspect of this particular hackathon, I think we should begin. Yeah. So let me invite CA Pramod Bajaj, sir, for his use case presentation, and he'll be presenting on streamlining the work with AI. Sir, the mic is handed over to you. Please carry on.
Yeah. Am I audible? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's start my presentation. So I'm talking about streamlining your work with AI. So today I'm going to discuss 2 mind-blowing AI tools and AI use cases which will really blow your mind, and it can reduce your time up to 85% from what you have been usually doing. So this is one case I have picked up for chartered accountancy in practice and one for CA in industry. So let's straight away delve into the use case. I, CA Pramod Bajaj, will take you through this AI journey. So the use case one is that a chartered accountant have got a lucrative assignment wherein he is going to get 50,000 rupees for a task wherein he has to upload 500 vouchers daily. So he will get 500 vouchers from the client and he is to input that and summarize it and send it to the client, for which the client is ready to pay 50,000. But actually, if you see the 500 vouchers daily will require at least 6 people to do that work. And it will cost you around 1,50,000, and which makes the project not feasible. Now I'll show you how AI can make the project feasible. So this is the screen wherein we have pasted all the bills. We'll paste here all the bills, 500 bills in our folder, which we get from the client. Now let's quickly delve into the practical aspect. So let's say all the bills are there. We'll paste here the invoices one by one. And we'll give the command. You see, the 10 bills can be uploaded at once. And if a person inputs that data manually, he will take at least 1 hour. Now with AI, the data is ready in 30 seconds. Is it mind-blowing? So the data which was supposed to take 1 hour 2 years back, now it is. So now what will happen? We'll move to this upload is there. From there, the data is ready. This data will paste in Excel and we'll link the trial balance financials. Your financial by day end is ready. Mind-blowing. Now the project has become feasible for only 50,000 rupees. We'll need only one person, and I have technically tried. You can do 1,000 vouchers. One person can do 1,000 voucher on a daily basis. So this was one use case which has really streamlined your work with AI and possible for you to take project at a very low rate with very less staff. Quickly, we'll go into the second use case. Suppose a manager at the fag end of the day say that your CEO requires a data wherein 5 competitor company need to be analyzed, and he needs that data for tomorrow's board meeting to present it to the board of directors. Now, what will happen is there is a time constraint. The manager is stressed out. Now, he has the concern that manually, if I type all those data, what will be the data reliability and clarity? But this is all possible through AI. Now, the mind-blowing second thing you see, earlier I used to do the same thing. It used to take around 10 hours for me to make that data. Now you see, you go to Probe 42, you download the 5 competitors PDF files. These are the downloaded 5 competitor PDF files. This file you upload in ChatGPT. Once you upload in ChatGPT, you say, give me summary of revenue, EBITDA, PBT in a tabular format. Your data is ready. Mind-blowing. 30 seconds. Which earlier I used to take 10 hours. It is 30 seconds. I'm ready with the data to be given to CEO. And in the morning when I present to him, he will be surprised to see how did you all do. Overnight you slept or not. So that is the power of AI. So I tell you, with the AI, analyzing financial data, developing business strategy, performing due diligence, the CA in practice can reduce their time by up to 85%. There are more than 1400 plus AI tools right now, which can dramatically reduce your work. It's not only CA in industry practice, or someone influencer, or somebody doing a makeup work, or any area you take. So those tools can change your way of looking at things totally. So now Chat GPT, which we used for the industry and practice, wherein he has taken 50,000 assignment and made it feasible. So that was used wherein we uploaded the PDF files and the data was ready within seconds. Then we have Canva, we have Gamma, wherein the presentations which we take around 10 to 15 hours can be made within a second. There is an AI tool, 15-minute plan.ai. The whole business plan can be ready not less than an hour, which we used to take like 15 to 20 days. This things has dramatically changed the way we look at things. It has enabled the profession, but something need to be looked at how the future is going to be with this AI, and we should use it to our benefit. And AI is the future which is not avoidable. So everybody needs to learn how to do the AI. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, sir. It was a lovely presentation and use case. And definitely we can all conclude with this, that particularly when we talk about using different tools for AI, that can definitely make our work easier. And there'll be still some requirement of us to review that particular work so that our particular professional judgment and skepticism is also in place while reviewing these particular AI outputs. So thank you very much for this great presentation. And now I'd like to invite CA Divakar Dadich. When we talk about using AI to assist us in our work, the another aspect of that is using automation to make our work much easier. So that's what he'll be speaking on today. So the topic for his presentation today would be RPA using Power Automate. So the platform is yours.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So I'll be talking about, so my name is Divakar and I am a chartered accountant from Jaipur. I am working in a company called NJA Solutions. So I'll be talking about Power Automate today and how we can utilize its UI automation capabilities to create a workflow to replicate repetitive user actions. Right. So let's talk about Power Automate first. So Power Automate is freely available as part of the MS365 package. So if you have Office 365, then you can freely download the Power Automate tool. So moving on, so what I'm going to do today is, so we are using an accounting system called Sage. So in our accounting system, we need to manually allocate the receipts and invoices within the system for each customer. So if we are selling stuff to, let's say, 100 customers in a day, someone has to manually go and match those receipts and invoices. So it's a repetitive task. It is a task which has a very specific workflow. So these kind of things can be automated via Power Automate. So I'm moving on to the Power Automate interface. I hope it is visible to you. So we've got lots of features and controls within Power Automate, and we can design a flow using that. So what I've done is I've created a UI automation where this flow is reading the interface, and based on that, it is performing some actions. So we'll understand more when we actually see the demo. So let's move on to the demo. Yeah. So here on my screen, you can see, you can see this is the interface for Sage accounting system. So what I need to do is I need to enter each customer's name code one by one, and then match the credits and debits, and then click on save and move on to the another customer. So it will all be done automatically. So I've given an input of 10 customer codes via this Excel sheet, and this Excel sheet is added in the flow of Power Automate that we have built. So this is the list of 10 test customers that we have given to the flow. So I'll run it. Yeah. So it will take some time to initialize for the first time. So what it is actually doing is it is opening that Excel sheet that I just shown some time back to you. And using that Excel sheet, it is reading all of those customer IDs. And then those customer IDs will be picked and will be entered in this text box. Yeah. And then the whole process will start. Yeah. So it has recognized the window where it has to put the code name. So it has put the first code name and match the receipts and match the credits and debits, and then saved the allocation between these. So now it has moved to the second customer, and then it will go on and complete the allocation for all the 10 customers. So I've created a loop here, which checks for the text box, where is the text box, and then enters the value from that Excel sheet, clicks on this auto allocate button, and then clicks on this save button. So this is one example of UI automation which is done through Power Automate, and we can use it in any software that we are using. Basically, we are just giving the command to Power Automate on which window or which text box it has to fill, which button it has to click on. So whenever you have some process which is repetitive and can be codified, we can easily create a workflow through Power Automate, and it will be all done while you just look at the screen. Yeah, so I've given input of 10 customers, so we have moved to the 7th one, I guess. So apart from doing the allocations, this flow will also create a report for us and will email us as to the results of this automation process. And yeah, so it will tell us what is. Yeah, so all 10 customers are now done, and I've received a message box saying allocation is completed. And shortly after this, I've received an email in my Outlook saying 10 customers are auto-allocated in Sage in 3 minutes. And here are the successful records. Yeah. So going back to Power Automate. So as you've seen that this whole process was done without any kind of manual intervention, I'll just quickly go through what are the steps, what are the technologies that I've used in Power Automate. So I have created few variables where I'm storing the dates, where I'm storing the number of records that have passed through the flow, and the values of those records, like the customer IDs and all. And within this loop, all of those variables are populated. And once the loop is completed for all 10 customers, It then opens Outlook and checks for the time difference between the start and end time, and creates a customized email for us that okay, the process is now complete. Yeah. So if I talk about UI automation, then there are lots of features available within Power Automate, which can be used like mimicking the button press or mimicking the mouse clicks. Yeah. So this was a short demo of how we can use Power Automate. So simply this will anyway help us in eliminating repetitive tasks done by a user. And it is, of course, error-free because everything is rule-based. And we can also, create error handling conditions in this flow. So I also created this condition here that if at any stage...
For the last 2 minutes.
Yeah. So if at any stage we encounter an error, it will simply move to the next value in the loop. Yeah. So this was it. This was a short demo of how we can use it. Yeah. So I'm done.
Right. Thank you, sir. This has been indeed a great presentation. And now, actually, that's a very true thing which you've said, that because of the technologies like RPA and AI being in such professional hands also, it's not just limited to our engineers or coders, but also people like you and I can access these tools and learn them with ease. It becomes very simple for us to map out the process flows which are there in a practice or industry. And I'll definitely also encourage the participants and the viewers who are there to try and come up with such use cases themselves, which might be relevant to their practice, their industry. And thank you very much for this presentation. Now I'll invite CA Pankaj Jain next, who will be discussing to us about a use case about employee onboarding automation. So let's see what he has in store for us. Sir, the platform's yours.
Yeah. I'm sure you can see my screen.
Yes.
So thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. So today I will be talking about employee onboarding automation. I think it's a very tedious thing, whether it is a CA firm or whether it's a business where there are a large number of employees. There is a lot of data work, lot of documentation work, which an HR has to do, or the proprietor has to do, or the partner has to do. And a lot of time, energy, and money is vested in certain recurring tasks, which can be solved simply by automation. So let us see what problem I'm trying to solve. First of all, let me just briefly summarize you what kind of issues which an HR manager has to do, or any person who is handling the employee data has to do. First, of course, he has to store the employee data, which usually he does in a spreadsheet, number one. Number two, he has to take care of various employee documents. Say, for example, employee PAN card, employee Aadhaar card, employee photo, and many other documents. Third is an employee ID card has to be generated, and that also has to be stored in the employee folder. We also have to share the employee rules to the employee when he onboards our office. And sometimes many organizations have an employee handbook that is also required to be shared to the employee. Now, what if this entire process can be automated and the HR doesn't have to do anything? So I have created a process and I've automated it. Let me share it with you. What is the workflow? So, and of course, in doing entire thing, it around takes 30 to 40 minutes once we submit the form. But first of all, let me tell what will be the workflow. The step one is employee will submit a form in which there will be employee data and of course a place where he can upload his documents. Automatically, as we all know, if it's a Google form, data automatically goes to the spreadsheet. That feature we are already aware of. Now, what is the automation? As soon as employee submits the form, a folder with the employee name will be automatically created in Google Drive. In Google Drive, I already have an employees folder. In that employees folder, from the form, the employee name will be taken, and with that name, employee folder will be automatically created, no manual intervention. Now, once the employee folder is created, whatever documents the employee has uploaded, like the photo, PAN card, Aadhaar card, they will also be saved in the same employee folder automatically. Then we can also send a welcome letter to him that will sound very professional and corporate. Okay, and with the welcome letter, I'll also send my employee, maybe employee rule, policy, employee handbook, whatever we call it. Not only this, we will also generate his ID card automatically from the details which he has shared, and that ID card will also be will be saved in his folder, and at the same time it will also be emailed to the employee. Now all this process can be automated. So let's see how I have done it. Hope it works. Okay, so what I've done is I've created a Google form. So in this Google form, for the sake of saving the time, I've already kept the data field: my employee name, mobile number, employee, date of birth, date of joining, and let me upload the photo. Let us say I'll use the same image for the sake of simplicity. Let's say this is my PAN card, sorry, my photo, and I'll use the same image. And let us say this is my Aadhaar card, just an example. So, and let us say this is my third document, that is Aadhaar. Say for example, I just submit. So this is just a short form which I have made. We can make it as long as we want, and I put a submit button. So what happens? This entire process will take around 30 to 40 seconds for completion. In the meantime, what preparation I have done in the backend, let me show you. So what happened? I've created a folder, employees, in the Google Drive. So basically, this is an employee folder. In this employee folder, as you can see, just something happened. The folder with the employee name for whom we filled the details, the folder has been automatically created. So the automation is working already. So what happens in that employee folder, that employees who has filled the data, his folder has been automatically created. In this folder, automatically what have also gone? The ID card and all, automatically they are saved. So what preparation I have done? So this is the folder which I have created, employees in Google Drive. Further, I have also prepared a welcome letter. So dear employee name. So employee name should be replaced by the name of the employee which we have filled in the Google form. Rest is the common data for all the employees. Okay, so after the submission of the form, this data has to be replaced basically. Then I have also created an ID card format. I've created a simple ID card template. In the first page, on the top, you can give the firm details. This is the photo of the employee, and these four are the variables which have to be replaced upon the formation of the submission of the form. So these are the 2 pages of the ID card. So these I have prepared in Google Slide, and this welcome letter I have prepared in Google Doc. Now, what preparation I have done after having prepared all these things? Now let us see whether the mail has come or not. So if you see, since I've filled my own email, so me is written. Now welcome Pankaj. So for the subject is welcome Pankaj. As you can see, whatever we put in the template, that has already come to the email. It has also replaced my name, and at the same time, what has also happened? I've got 2 attachments. What is the first attachment? Okay, without any manual intervention, the ID card has been created and has also been sent to the employee. No manual intervention. Further, and one more automation is that it also adds one to the previous employee ID card number. That also automation is there. Further, this is the employee handbook, which I've kept a file in the Google Doc. So what the automation does, automatically it converts that Google Doc file into a PDF file, and it is also sent as a PDF file to the employee. So this is the email which is gone. And at the same time, what has happened in the employee folder, automatically my folder has already been created. And in the folder, whatever documents I upload, for example, my photo, PAN card, my photo, my PAN, my Aadhaar, they have already been saved. My ID card has already been
last
saved.
2 minutes.
Yeah. And my handbook, which I sent to the employee, that is also available in the employee folder. And if I want to automate it further, I can also automatically share this folder to the employee Gmail and keep it in view mode so that he can also have an access of what documents he has submitted to the organization. So let me just review what I have explained. So these entire steps, which could have taken hundreds and hundreds of hours for certain companies, these all processes have been automated with just one thing. Who is filling the data? The employee himself is filling the data. And whatever tasks my staff has to do, my manager has to do, they are all being done by the system itself. So this is how the automation has been created. And for all this, I had to use JavaScript. And entire JavaScript, I did it through prompting into ChatGPT. So AI is the enabler, as I often say. So AI is the enabler. If I don't know something, I can ask AI and fill that gap. This entire process has helped me to streamline my documentation, streamline my communication with the employee. It inculcates professionalism in the entire organization, saves time, and of course saves cost. With this, thank you very much.
Right. Thank you, sir. Great presentation. And I'll just remind all the viewers of this particular hackathon to please vote the speakers and the panelists who are coming here and giving their use cases. So this has been an interesting use case because a lot of the members in Practice FL space specifically about this, they have some issue or other with regards to either this HR related issue or their own documentation related procedure. So this can definitely be of help. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Now, the next speaker we have is CA Ankit Jalan. He'll be discussing about automating routine tasks by developing a TDL to import entries into Tally from Excel. So let's see what he has in store for us. Sir, the platform is yours.
Thank you, sir. A very good evening to all present, respected jury, fellow panelists, and distinguished members. I'm honored to present a practical automation solution that can transform how we handle daily accounting processes. Today, I'll demonstrate how we can streamline the posting of accounting entries from MS Excel to Tally, a task that many of us perform on an everyday basis. About me, I'm a chartered accountant into practice for over 13 years now, and also a trainer on MS Excel. Going back to my presentation and to the topic, which is importing entries from Excel to Tally, what I have here is one Excel file and one instance of Tally. At the moment, this Tally is a clean slate. I have a fresh Tally company here with no vouchers entered across in this, and there are no entries any entries made onto this. One can very well see the statistics here and confirm for himself that yes, there are no entries. What I have done out here is at the moment, I have just altered the voucher types so as to allow the entries for which the voucher numbering can be automatic, but yes, manually, if they are altered, it should allow them to do so. So what we are going to see here is I have a fresh Tally company, just completely blank, no ledgers or any entries. I will do a complete transformation, which with the help of MS Excel, I prepared a comprehensive sheet out here in Tally, in Excel, sorry, which is linked with Tally through ODBC. So at the moment, since the moment we create a new company, it has only two ledgers. So the ledgers are cash and PL. This comes by default when we open any Tally company. So these are the two ledgers, and this Excel sheet of mine, which is linked through ODBC, are showing me that yes, these are the two ledgers present in Tally in the current open company. I wish to do some sample data entry across Excel, and I want to post them through to Tally, but through Excel. So at the moment, this is my entry sheet. I have some sample data here, which I will want to demonstrate when I post the same to Tally. So I've copied this data, I've come to entries, and I've pasted it here. The moment I paste it here, I have done some formulas on Excel. So what this Excel intelligently shows me is that these debit ledgers and these credit ledgers are not available in Tally. And that is why it is giving me a remark so as to make the debit ledger and also to make the credit ledger. So before we can directly jump into posting data entries, the first step is to creating the ledger masters. So that is what the intent of this file is, to show me in remarks what is to be done first. So if there are certain masters which are missing in this Tally company, which I can very well see in that Excel itself, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to ledger masters. What I've done here is, using macros with the help of AI and ChatGPT, I've created some masters with the help of certain shortcuts. I have three macros here. So one, what it does, it filters my unique ledgers masters which needs to be created. The second one is to create a ledger master XML, and the third one is to generate a entries XML file. So out of these three, I'll be showing one by one. At the moment, we are trying to run the first one so as to get the list of unique masters which are to be made. For example, if I just show it here, customer A, customer B, customer C, and sales, which is common across the three entries. So there are four ledgers which are to be made. So what will this macro do for me is, if I run this macro, it will create me a list of all the four ledger masters which I need to make. What I have done further here is, in case these names, these ledger names are in a manner which can be identified in a logic that I can group them correctly for the purpose of Tally. So Tally has Excel has intelligently picked up the right group for customer A, which is status, and for sales, it should be sales accounts. So this is again an intelligent working done through Excel formulas based on whatsoever new ledger masters we need to create. After this is done, we'll use another macro here, which is the second one. It will generate an XML file for the ledger masters. So I'll go into this and I'll run this. The moment I run this, a save as dialog box will open up, asking me to save this file at any location which I may so prefer. So I put it on desktop. This is already done, so I will just replace it. Ledger masters is okay. I'll delete it for that matter. So I've deleted the ledger masters. Actually, I tried it just before the session, so the files are available. Sorry about that. So what I do here is I just import the ledger masters here. I can name it in any manner. I just need to remember the name. So ledger masters is what the file name is. So it is saved at this location. Now what I'll do next is, now I can surely come back to the entry sheet. Okay, hold a minute. Before I do so, what I'll do is I'll go to Tally, and herein I will try and import my ledger masters, which I have just created through transactions. So I'm going to import and going to masters. Here in master, I need to specify the path in which my XML file lies. So I'll open the location for that. So it is on my desktop. So I'll go into my desktop location and select the path for which I need to paste it on Tally. So this is done. Here it shows me the XML file which I have just created. So this is ledger masters. The moment I do this, it is asking me how should I import the opening balances in case if it is available. At the moment, since it is a fresh Tally, I can do either of it. So I'll do is combine opening balance. The moment I press enter, something happened, and that is the magic we are about to witness. We can now see that statistics shows that there are 4 new ledgers which are now created. Earlier, only we had was cash and profit and loss account. Now we can see we have customer A under sundry creditors, sundry debtors, customer B and C and sales under respective sundry debtors and sales accounts. So this is how we have quickly created our ledger masters. If I go back to Excel now and show you the first Excel sheet, which was this. So since I said it was linked, the moment I hit refresh, because of the use of ODBC, we can quickly see that yes, now the new ledgers which have been created in Tally are here listed. If I move to the sheet which is named as entries, you might have observed that here it was to make a ledger. Now it is showing as available. So we are no more having this red color signals, and it is good to go. Since it is good to go, what I will do is I'll run the third macro of generating the entries XML. So I use the third macro and run it here. The moment I run it here, it is again asking me to put a save location. So I put it on desktop once again and hit save. Once it is saved, the next process is simple. I need to go to Tally, go to import and click on transactions this time. Since desktop was the path used earlier, it is taking the same, I need to go to transactions and it should show me. It should have shown me, okay, I did not save it as XML, by the way. That is my mistake. I should have considered that. So when I run,
okay, the last 2 minutes.
Okay. So when I run this XML, I need to save it as an XML file. I mistakenly did not change this. So this is XML. I put it to desktop and here I save it. The moment I save it, I go to Tally and I go to import transactions. The moment I do this, I see this file, I hit enter, the transactions are imported. You can see there is a date of last entry. And if I run the day book, so we can very well see the 3 entries available here. So if I go ahead and do further data entry here, so this in the first time, what I had was only sales as one of my voucher types. If I go ahead and put it for more voucher types like purchase, like payment, like receipts, or any other voucher type, it will do the same. Here again, since these ledgers are not available, it is asking me to create the ledgers. And since there is another difference between the debit amount and the credit amount, I am getting another highlight here of 1,000 rupees. So either ways, I should change either this to 4,000 or to 5,000. So I'm doing the same. So this is gone now. Similar process I will have to repeat, but the idea is first to create the ledger masters using the macro. For that, I have a shortcut that is Control-Shift-M. So once I do that, I can rerun the process very well. And I can, okay, here I have not filtered the list. So the list is filtered. I got the new report. The moment I do this, I can run the macro for creating my ledger master and completing the step. So while I complete the step, what I wish to say here is, since our XML files give us the flexibility of doing routine tasks in a much time-saving manner, the comprehensive automation solution which I have demonstrated before you, it has other further significant benefits. One can virtually eliminate transposition errors since there is no manual human entry. It can standardize the process of the entry process by using all voucher types.
Ankit ji, time up. Thank you.
Okay. So that is the entire use case which I have tried to show before you. Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you, sir. This has been an interesting use case. And another great point to note here is that AI tool is not something which is of a silver bullet, that only one AI tool will solve all your issues. Right now, you've used Excel macros and then try to import the data into Tally. So a combination of tools are at play here. And as much as you try it on your own, as much as we try to resolve our own particular use cases, we are going to learn more about this particular technology. So it's been a great presentation. And now I'll move to the next speaker, CA Venkat Pillai. Sir, you'll be discussing about the annual report analysis, specifically about diagnostic, predictive, prescriptive analysis, if I'm not wrong.
Correct.
Yeah. Right. So the floor is yours, sir. Please carry on. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm quite fortunate to stand in front of esteemed colleagues and present on the annual report analytics. So the background is something like this. The traditional way of analyzing an annual report is basically looking at vertical, the horizontal analysis, the ratio analysis, and so on and so forth. But now, how do you use statistics in arriving at the annual report analytics, covering the 5 life cycles, like you rightly said, Rishiji, that you start with descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, prescriptive, and cognitive. So I'll just use a case study to show this. You able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
So I've taken the annual report of Tata Motors. So let's look at Tata Motors. So I'm using the chat GPT. Spelling is not it's not a matter. So if you see this, it gives you the performance in terms of financial performance. EBITDA rose, total revenue rose. So there's no brainer. Anything you can just even through a layman will be able to figure it out. Recorded a revenue of primarily driven by India's expanding infrastructure, sustainability goals. All this it gives. So, but it's not giving me what I want. So I'm saying, please analyze using measures of central tendency. So measures of central tendency is basically I need the mean, median, mode, and to figure out standard deviations. So it gives you the profit after tax, mean revenue, median revenue. More than the mean is a very fluctuating because the 1 year I think it did not make that much of profit. So median is more because it's the middle path. So 2 sides you'll find it breaks the 2 different sides. And mode is not applicable, very rightly said. So median PAT it gives me. So it gives me EBITDA margin also. But then I would want it in a more structured manner. So please provide, but it's not giving me standard deviation. So I would need standard deviation also. I need standard deviation and coefficient of variance. The tabular format. So this is quite interesting. You see, it gives you the entire standard deviation. So wherever standard deviation is higher, I need to have a look at it. Coefficient variation is also pretty high. So then I say that PAT coefficient variation is high. So, and similarly, the other is 215. If you see 215, it's nothing but the automatic cash flow. So why is the cash flow? Why is the variance? So it's easy for me to just now pinpoint, do a root cause and just pinpoint. Why is standard deviation and the coefficient and variance high for cash flows and profit? Including significant volatility over the observed years. So it gives you the volatility, why these metrics show high variability. So I'm doing a root cause inside why this is showing. So it's saying transition from loss to profit. There was a loss in FY22. If I keep reading the annual report, it's very difficult for me to find out where exactly the things are. So this is reported a significant loss and then showed a profit. There's a fluctuation in operating costs, automatic free cash flow, He's also made heavy investments in product development and sustainable technologies, impacting cash flow. So a transition from negative cash flow to positive is that because of that, there was the coefficient of variance was pretty high. The standard deviation was also high. And so you can really know the main crux of the audit report, the annual report is that free cash flow, there was a big variation as well as the profit. Now, this is not sufficient for me because this is not revealing anything for me. So now I need to go to a more descriptive. Kindly provide me a descriptive analytics. Kindly provide me descriptive analytics on this. Yeah, so it gives you a descriptive. Yeah, I think this is continuation of the same thing saying. So maybe I need to rephrase. Kindly provide the more diagnostic. So it gives you a diagnosis of each. It's just like pinpointing the results. So they say the diagnosis of the observation on the revenue is largely due to Tata's diverse vehicle lineup, expanding presence in EV. So EV is the thrust area. And it says, especially with the 70 plus market share in four-wheelers, it has bolstered the revenue. Implication it says Tata Motors can leverage demand by further expanding its EV lineup. Fine. Profitability, variability, diagnosis 22 was a loss, so that's fine. So needs to continue focus on its cost optimization. High standard deviation cash flow, which is already explained. So it's again giving you and operating efficiency talks about capitalize. You can continue to capitalize, but focusing on higher margin segments, risk from external volatility. There is a big impact post-COVID and geopolitical uncertainties in the Ukraine war, due to which there is an issue by itself. But I would like more analytical review on the diagnostic part. So can you provide me the 5 whys? The 5 why, and the FMEA, failure mode effects analysis. So failure mode effects analysis and the 5 why it's giving you. So why did Tata Motors experience high variability, fluctuates in operating costs? Why did operating costs, materials investment fluctuate due to global economic conditions, supply disruptions? Why were global economic conditions supply impacting? Tata Motors relies on international suppliers for essential parts. This is very surprising because JLR, it's in the UK. So why does Tata Motors depend heavily on international? Because lack of local servicing. That means we don't have a local network of suppliers. So, and high tech part expeditions in India. So the fluctuating margins is again put in a very subtle manner that gives you an explanation also on the recommended action, increase local sourcing, implement cost control strategies, which I didn't ask for it, but it's giving you, and it gives you a risk priority number. It gives you an occurrence and detection. Severe occurrence is the number of, is the frequent way the event is happening, and severity is the impact. So 336 is the risk priority number. So cash flow and fluctuating profit margin and supply disruptions, 3 key areas. So I know where to look for and what I need to look out for in Tata Motors in the future. And demand variability and high operating cost. So the key recommendation is increase local sourcing. It says you figure it out, the Tata Motors isn't necessarily has to go for local sourcing because foreign sourcing of raw materials is very expensive. Balance investment with returns, develop alternative suppliers, strengthen market diversification, operating efficiency initiatives have to by reducing overheads. So the diagnostic part gives me at least the 5 whys, and the FMEA gives me some area where Tata Motors needs to concentrate. And being an investor or being a part of the company, you may be able to relate to it and give advice. Now, having done descriptive and diagnostic, let's go to, can you help me with the predictive analytics? So conduct predictive analysis, you need to gather. So it's giving a very ARIMA, it gives you auto-regressive integration moving average. It's a very good average method. Hall's Winter is another method. So it gives you various methods. So I would want it to actually analyze please provide.
Venkat sir, last 2 minutes.
Yeah, provide the analytics in a tabular format. So it gives you only it's displaying this. Can you show a revenue trend of what factors impact cash flow? So it gives you some suggestions where you can analyze further. And it gives you the various sources from where it has taken. So if you want the sources, you can go and click on the sources and get the analytics ready. And we can also talk about please provide prescriptive analytics. So it says you have to strengthen your supply chain, leverage customer data insights. So it uses neuro-linguistic programming and arrives at the various actionable steps, because that's the prescription. Its basis all its findings on the diagnostic and the descriptive model and the predictive model. So it gives you, says use machine learning for demand forecasting, increase marketing for high margin products, streamline low margin production, build partnership with regional suppliers, implement RPA in manufacturing, conduct lean assessments, issue green bonds because it's strategic financing, it says explore joint ventures, partner with power providers for charging stations, offer incentives for home charging. So all these are prescriptive actions which it articulates very well, and which then now the last one is also provide me cognitive.
Hello.
Cognitive analytics. So gives you cognition, deep learning, large language models, all that it pulls out, and it gives you various insights on the action on the supply chain, marketing, customer preferences. It gives you employee and workforce analytics, monitor engagement levels using NLP, natural language processing, competitive intelligence. It gives you in a very clear, articulates in a tabular format where we can look.
Time's up.
Yeah, thank you.
Right. Thank you, sir. And I think it's greatly explained by you that even a document of quantum, such as annual report with hundreds and hundreds of pages, can be analyzed in seconds. I would just like to add one small thing over here, which I saw here with your presentation also, the importance of prompt. Right. If you put in an incorrect prompt, then the response, no matter how good the AI tool is, it may still be incorrect. So that becomes very necessary, and that you've shown in your presentation as well. So now let's move on to the next speaker, CA Tapas Ruparelia, sorry. And this is one of an interesting topic, because as chartered accountants, we are no engineers, we are no coders. So we are always definitely looking at different areas where we can use AI or tools like AI without the need of any coding. So I'll welcome our next speaker here. And is he present, sir? Are you there?
Yes, I am back. I had a small glitch, but I've joined through my browser.
Yes, sir. The platform's yours. Please carry.
Thank you so much, sir. I'll just share my entire screen. Somebody else is sharing the screen. I think that would stop. Yeah. Please confirm once my screen is visible, sir.
Yes, it's visible.
Perfect. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining in, and I'm thankful to the AI and ICAI committee for this wonderful opportunity. I'm going to share a use case which may be relevant for almost everybody here. The GST annual return due date is approaching, and everybody would be required to undergo a reconciliation with the table 8A that we say, that is the inward details that you receive, along with the purchase register data that you have. I have an old table 8A that is available here. I'll just close it. And I have an annual purchase register with me, which is here. and we'll see how we can entirely determine or customize, prepare a customized software solution. So what I'm going to do is open an Excel sheet, and I'm simply going to use Power Query to show a very simple reconciliation that can be done, which can be done on an entirely customized basis. I will go to the data tab. This Power Query is available in almost all Excel versions, especially from the version starting from 2016. For the previous versions, you might have to go and add certain add-ins, but it is usually available for all. I will quickly select an Excel workbook, and here is where I have saved all my data. So I will come back to my Excel sheet. I will paste my path, and first of all, I will import my annual purchase register. Very quickly, the Excel would import the Excel register. Here I can see if there are different sheets, it would show me different sheets. But since it is one sheet, that would be one sheet. I mean, it is showing me only one sheet. I will just quickly glance through the data, and I am able to see that entire data seems to be correct. So rather than going into transform, I load my purchase register. I might have to do a lot of transformation when it comes to my purchase register. So I will again go to the data tab, again go to from file, select an Excel workbook, and this time I am going to select my table 8A of the GSTR 9 that has been downloaded. In that, if somebody is using this table 8A, they would be aware that these are the sheets that is available. Right now, for the demo purpose, I'm going to select the B2B sheet, which is the main one. And if you see here, the headers are not proper. I can see null values. There's a lot of issues with this data and all. And what I'm going to do is I'll click on transform data. It takes me to a different tab. It opens the Power Query transformation video. And as I see, there are certain rows which seems to be irrelevant for me. I think the most relevant row for me is row number 5, but again it also has some null values, and I might need the data which is appearing in these top rows. So what I'll first do is there are only 4 tabs which is available in Power Query. The first tab is Home tab. In that Home tab, I will go to Remove Rows, and I would say remove top 3 rows. And the top 3 rows which are relevant will go. Now what I'll do is I will select the first column, press shift and go to the last column. And by going to the last column, I realize that there are 2 columns which seems to be unnecessary. So what I'll do is I'll select these columns and I will remove these columns. Participants would observe that as soon as I do something, there are steps which are being recorded here, and these steps are similar to what we are used to looking at in Excel. When you use macros, we are always taught that macros record various steps. So now these steps are being recorded. If I don't want the last step that I had done, I can just click on remove and it's gone. Now the important part is I will again select my first column, press shift and go to the last column, and there is something under transformation called fill, and it's filled down. You would observe that as soon as I've selected fill down, in the initial columns where I did not have data, this data has gone, which I was requiring. Hence, I will again go to remove rows and I will select top 1 rows. The row has gone, but again, my headers has not been solved. So what I'll do is there is something called use first rows as headers. I will select that. And now it seems my GSTR 2B data is ready. Now something important. Now this is only the cleansing of data that I've done. I have 4.5 minutes probably. I will go to merge queries. I will select merge queries as new. And in this case, I will select my annual purchase register, and I will have my B2B file sheet, which is here. Now we are all used to do all these reconciliations through various lookups. But in lookup, we have a problem. We always have to look at the left side. Only one column can be looked at. So we are all used to do a concatenate of our GSTN with the invoice numbers. And what happens if you want to concatenate date? That is practically impossible. So what I'll do is I still want to do a reconciliation of 3 columns. I have my GSTN here. I have my GSTN here. I'll select it. In my purchase register, the invoice number says entity number, whereas to B2B, the GSTR 2A data says invoice number. Fine. I will press control, I'll select that as well. And I also want to match the dates. I will select the dates here. If you observe, there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. Now there's something important which will have to be understood here is the SQL funda, and very quickly. So let's say these are the two tables which are here. The first table is purchase register. The second table is your GSTR 2A. What I am interested in is this, where these two are coinciding, where the details are matching. And if you see here, this is what I will call as only in GSTR 2A, and this is something which is only in GSTR, which is only in my purchase register. In a hurry, I seem to have named it the reverse. It is, this one is the right outer and this one is the left outer. Nevertheless, this is something that we want right now. So I'll go back to my Power Query, and there are different kinds of joins available. As I showed, I will select inner join and I will click OK. There's a new file that will come here, and I will name it as match. I will quickly close and load, and the data will be imported. And you see here in the match, the data is, but there is my GSTR data. I think I have missed one step. Again, go back to my query. This is the important or the most important functionality of Power Query is that you can always look at whatever range you want. Now this has been done. My that I had to do is that this table I had to respond the GSTR way. So for the reference of the participants, I will select the GST supplier, the invoice number, and the invoice data, and probably just to show that reconciliation is actually working. Let's close and load. And my data has been refreshed. Earlier, these columns are not appearing. These are here now, and we can see the first the JCN is matching, the invoice number also is matching. Yeah, so this is thing that I would be able to do within this short period of time. But let me also show, I mean, how if this is done within a short span of probably 7 minutes. But if you spend a couple more minutes, you can see how detailed the reconciliation can be prepared. I have my purchase register here. So yeah, this is the same file that I've written. This is exact match. I had also one step that except date and invoice value, if anything else also matches, then also it should give me a credit. I had through Power Query only I put pivots, because at the end of the year, even if your invoice details are not matching, your suppliers would want you to have a summary level of matching between the different what do I say, matching between the that is इस पार्टी का PR में कितना है और GSTN में कितना है वो बताइए. Invoice number is not is for the thanks normally. So this is how the same method I've used. I have just used something called combine the column. I have by Zico here, and it shows this particular party, what is the GST amount it has. But also it seems that there is one invoice with this difference. Certainly party only 2 and party is only GR in my purchase register. So there is something that I wanted to show. If I have a couple of more minutes probably, then let me quickly show one thing more which can be done through using ChatGPT. So there was a recent judgment of the Supreme Court for under Safari retreats, and it was a landmark judgment under GST, and there were different sessions being run by different chartered accountant associations and various forums. So I did not have the thank you. So I did not have the time to watch all these. As you can see, as soon as I have gone to the video, something which is coming here. This is a Google Chrome extension called NoteGPT. This NoteGPT, as soon as the video starts, it gives a transcript of the entire video. And similarly, all the videos, the transcript here is ready. So what I had done is, I have taken all these transcripts into one file. Now participants who use ChatGPT regularly might know that this kind of data doesn't go into ChatGPT at one go. So I will quickly show a hack. There is a website called ChatGPT Chunker where you can say that I'm going to give you a data in different chunks. You please make it into a smaller chunks, which is a smaller chunk.
I think they have disconnected. There have been some issue with the network, I suppose. Okay. Rishi sir, shall we move with the next speaker in that case?
Oh, did I get dropped somewhere?
Yeah, sir. Please continue. Yeah.
Can you tell me, sir, where did I get dropped down?
Just about the GPT chunker portion.
Sure. So I'm sorry. So just allow me a second. So this is the Chat GPT chunker where I have just wrote the Chat GPT chunker that you are ready to receive three of
the screen is not visible.
With it has given me different prompts within the time limit that is within the token limit that is allowable to Chat GPT. What I have done here is I will.
Your screen is not visible. Tapas, you there?
Right. So I think we can move with the next speaker in that case.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. So again, that was a great presentation. It got cut off due to some technical issues. But just a key point takeaway from that can be that something as important like a GST reconciliation, which is there for a lot of members in practice, you can just select whichever AI tool fits for you and try to practice on that, and then try to make your own use case in that case. And I'll also keep reminding the participants that for all those panelists who have done their presentations, kindly give them a vote. It's out of 1 and 5. 1 is the lowest, 5 is the highest. So with that, let's move to our next speaker, CA.
Rishiji, sorry, I am back, and I'm sorry I got disconnected again. I will not take more than 15 seconds. Just wanted to show the final output that had come in with the Chat GPT solution that I was showing, if that can be allowed.
Rishi sir, please, if you can.
Please, last 30 seconds for you.
Sure. So the chunks I had given to ChatGPT, and I had given an instruction that please summarize this video and tell me what are the different points that each speaker has highlighted and unique points and the way forward. And this is the wonderful way in which ChatGPT has highlighted this for me. So if I go to a meeting, I don't have to go through these videos of 3 hours. I can do it in 3 minutes and go to a meeting with something important knowledge from the entire 3 videos. That's it. That's what I wanted to share. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. And I'm really sorry for the technical glitch. Thank you.
Thank you. It was a great presentation, as I said earlier. And now let's move to our next speaker, CA Sai Subhash sir. He'll be discussing about automating an independent audit report creation using Power Automate. So the floor is yours. Please, comments.
Whether my screen is visible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, can I start?
Yes, sir, please.
Very good evening, everyone. My name is Sai Subhash. I'm a chartered accountant from Chennai. Today, my use case is about automating audit report using Power Automate. Before I start my demo, brief introduction, what is Power Automate? Now, what is Power Automate? It is an AI-powered robotic process automation tool. Helps us to automate repeatable processes and tasks with minimal or no human intervention. So today what we are going to do is, I'm going to give a prompt in CA GPT to generate a independent audited report. So we doesn't always disclose our client information. So CAGPT will give me in code words. That is, for company name, it will give us co-name. For a year-end closing, it will give us CLOS closing. Likewise, for an auditor, it will give us CA name. So in CAGPT, we used to give those coding words, and using the Power Automate, what we usually do is we all will maintain the financial statement in Excel. So all the data is stored in the Excel. So the data stored in the Excel will be automatically integrated with the Word using this Power Automate. And using the Copilot also, I'm going to give the demonstration. So let me first explain you this process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this prompt in a CAGPT. So let us see what is the result it is going to give. So the prompt which I'm going to give is draft me an independent auditor report for a private company which qualifies as a small company under Companies Act and for which cash flow, CARO, and internal financial control over financial reporting and key audit matters are not applicable. In reporting under Section 143, Subsection 3 of the Act, include the favorable opinion about audit trail, that is edit log facility. Wherever there are fields which I need to fill, for example, the company name, auditor name, membership number, give it in the bold code words, not exceeding 6 characters. For example, in case of company name, give as co-name, and for year end, give it as 31st March, year closing, and so on. So what I have did is I have already given this prompt and I have generated the independent auditor report in CAGPT. So you can see the same prompt which I have given here, and CAGPT has generated me an independent auditor report for a private company which qualifies as a small company. So all the content generated as independent audit report, what I am going to do is I'll just copy and paste in a Word document. So I will copy this and paste it in a Word document. So there are totally 19 fields which I am going to link from the Excel. For example, this is co-name. Co-name should be linked from the Excel. That is, for example, company name. In my name, the company name is SS Private Limited. So what I will do is I will select the code word and go to developer tab and click on plain text content control. So this is the developer tab which helps us to link Word with any other application. So once the link is being created, I need to give the name for each and every link. So co-name, I'm going to give the name for this link. So I will go on to the properties and give the title as co-name so that it will be easy for me to give the link in Power Automate. So for each and every code words, I will use the plain text content control from the developer tab and give the separate code words. So I have already given the link for all the 19 tab. So which we can see in this Word template, statutory audit report, which I have pasted in our letter pad. So you can see here that each and every field which I need to give link from the Microsoft Excel is being generated as this plain text content control. So each and everything has been linked here. So once I give link using the Power Automate, it will automatically generate me the independent audit report in Word format as well as in the Excel format. I will just go through the Excel financial statement. I'm just opening this Excel financial statement. So all these basic data is being cleaned and using the Power Query, and only the required fields has been taken here. So the assessee name, that is company name, is given as assessee name. So from the basic data using Power Query, I have generated this basic information, which I am going to link to the audit report. So assessee name is AVS Private Limited. So likewise, all the required fields has been taken using the Power Query. Now let us move on to Power Automate of how to link this one. So Power Automate is automatically linked with Copilot. So using, we are not going to give any manual flow or anything. We just copy and paste these prompts so that Power Automate will generate the automated flows, and let us see how it will generate the independent auditor report. So first prompt which I'm going to give is create a flow starting with when a file is being modified. That is, when an Excel file is being modified in OneDrive for Business. I used to store all the financial statement in OneDrive. So once the financial statement in Excel is being modified, then list the rows present in a table. In Excel, we might have different number of tables, but only the basic data table I'm going to link with the audit report. So let us see the Copilot flow generation. So what it has given is, so it is started with first one. When a file is being modified, what it will do is list the rows present in the table. So all the basic data in that flow will be listed as rows so that it can be linked to our Word. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to link the file, that is my Excel file. So it is saved in ICAI AI Hackathon in this live demo. So I'm going to link this folder, Excel financial statement. So the Excel financial statement is now linked. Now I'm moving on to the second step, list the rows present in a table. My Excel might have more than 100 tables, but I need only specifically the basic data Power Query table to get linked with the Microsoft Word. So it is asking which file. So in live demo, my Excel is saved in Excel financial statement in that SS private limited. So table, it is asking me to select the tables. So there are different number of tables available in my Excel. I'm going to select only basic data Power Query table. So first step is being over. My second step is, so I have taken all the inputs from the Excel file. Now I'm going to copy and paste those inputs in the Word template. Next prompt, which I'm going to, prompt which I'm going to give here is, I'm going to link that Word template here. So once the Word template is being linked here, that is, for example, the Word template is being shared here. I'll just show how to be linked. One second, I will just, because of this time constraint, I will show whatever I have done earlier. So once the word is being auto-populated here, what it will ask us to link all those fields which are there in the Word format. So in Word, there is a content known as UDIN. So that UDIN is, I am going to link it with the Excel table. So each and every field, like UDIN, I have linked, address I have linked, year closing I have linked, CF firm, that is what is the firm name, an audit place, for example, Chennai means it's Chennai. So like this, there are total 19 fields which I have already linked. So what is the last prompt which I would like to give is, once the Excel is being linked with that Word file, I'm now going to create a new Word file, that is an independent audit report for ABS Private Limited. That is by create a new Word template, also convert that Word template into a new PDF. So once all fields are being created, I'm going to create a new Word file there. So I will give the path where I need to create that Word document. So what path I have given here is trial path. Now let me change the trial path to live demo path. So ICAI AI Hackathon live demo. So let me create a new, or live demo, I will just give you live demo. ICAI live demo folder. Once the prompt is being run, it is going to create a folder in this live demo. You can see in this live demo, there are no folders, just Excel financial statement and Word. So Word will be generated here. And also what I am going to do is, next step is, I want to convert that Word file into PDF and save it in the same path. So AI Hackathon live demo. So in the live demo itself, I'm going to save this live demo. So it is going to save here. So now I'm going to save this flow. Let me check whether it is running properly or not. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just modify this Excel financial statement SS Private Limited. So now AICA Private Limited, I have changed the company name as AICA Private Limited. Now let us see whether now I will change the company name as ICAI Private Limited. I will save this folder. Now I will just refresh and see what has been happening here. Now, after 1 minute, what Power Automate will do is it is going to run its query and give me those results. Let us see.
Sai Subhashji, time up.
Just 1 minute, sir. So because the flows will get refreshed only after 1 minute. So that's why. So let me test this flow with the recent trigger. So you can see here that new Word file is being created here, ICAI Private Limited. So all the prompts which I have given in the Excel has been automatically linked with the Word document and being created as a independent auditor report. So this is the Word document that is being created from Power Automate. And let me also open the PDF format which has been created by Power Automate. So whatever the Power Automate has generated in a Word document has been created in the PDF format also. So thank you for providing this opportunity. Sorry for taking that 2 minutes extra time. That's all, sir.
Thank you very much. This was a lovely presentation. And might I add that this was one of the great use cases of CA GPT itself, creating an audit report. And I'll just put forward this point again that it's not just a one AI tool which is your silver bullet, as the other use cases as well, that there are multiple tools which are in play here which create an entire picture for us. So with that, let's move to our next speaker, CA Darshak M. Thakkar. He'll be discussing a use case about CSR utilization certificate issued by CA using a chat GPT. So the floor is yours, please.
Good evening, sir. Whether am I audible and screen visible?
Yes, sir.
All right. Friends, GPT we are all aware about. What I am trying to cover is manifold. One, CA GPT, because I am doing attestation function. GPT speaks its own language, but I have to confine certain I have to confine within certain set of rules. So I would route my transaction through CAGPT. Then I will go to, I will get my certificate. But when I'm getting my certificate, I will tell to GPT that you tell only when I tell you to do, so that I can get what I want. One, the moment, second part is the input document I give. There is something called clear documents which are computer readable. So I won't be reading it. You do that work for me. You transcribe the data for me. You prepare the certificate in a format I give to you. Then, of course, I'll be using, there the workflow gets over. When I put the certificate into a Word file, convert it to PDF, all right. Then I'm on to something else. Small thing, I want to email that certificate to my client. Now, when I'm emailing a certificate, I've heard somewhere that Python does great things. I don't know anything about Python. Now, this I said to GPT, he developed a code, and I kept on improvising. And I'll be using a Python script to see how it, the email triggers. This is going to be my workflow. So let us start. All right. If you can see, sir, I get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 PDF file from my client. I have to give a CSR utilization certificate. The client is a charitable trust. It has received some donation from a company and it has utilized it. Now I see a flow there. What is the flow? The flow is my slide number 2. Is it visible? Like everything is visible?
Yes, sir.
All right. What I see is first that whenever the donation comes, the client is going to prepare an entry into accounting system. I don't read the entry. I don't want to read the entry because I rely on something called optical character recognition of GPT. Now, I would like to narrate here what is the difference between that OCR. Had it been something handwritten, there would be transcription problems. But if I see, let's say, example, this document is handwritten. So there are chances of mistakes, but I'm not using it. Client is telling me that, sir, I'm using an accounting software and a voucher is going to be generated. I'm not reading it. I'm just seeing that the fonts are computer readable. Now, what GPT has to do is it has to transcribe because it has got that beautiful feature. Had I done manually, some article assistant and some assistant would have done for me. So this is my voucher. Then in the flow, there comes, sir, we have also prepared the ledger account, which is automatic generation from my accounting software. Once again, I don't read. I only see the fonts that it is computer readable. I am good to go. Then the amount is deposited into my bank account. Immediately I said, you download it from this thing, give me your bank statement. I'm good to go because I'm once again relying on the most powerful OCR feature of a GPT. All right. Next is I say, sir, I have spent the amount. Once again, the same thing. There are leads written into it, but I don't want to read it. I want GPT to do all the connecting because it has got the power. Next, that payment that has happened, it is into once again my ledgers, once again computer readable. I'm good to go. Last but not the least is a bank statement which shows the debit entry. All right, that is sufficient. That is a raw material for me. Now what? What do I tell to GPT? So I go through CA GPT. Because had it been general GPT, it would have spoken something which may not be relevant for practicing chartered accountant. So I go to CA GPT. I just say my membership number. It's a wonderful creation. Let me say it keeps me on the track. So I'm waiting for my OTP. It should, yeah, lend up any moment. If it doesn't, need not worry. I can always re-trigger it. That's all right. Perfectly all right. It's not coming. That's all right. I can always trigger it once again. And as it is, because I just want to demonstrate that it keeps you on the track. Why CAGPT is relevant when you are especially doing attestation function, or for that matter, any other thing, right, which has something to do with rules or guidance note. If it doesn't come for any matter, we'll straight away go to GPT. I'm just waiting for OTP, not an issue. All right, so what we will do is, if it's not coming, that's okay, but I have already kept the ready. Now, if you can see here, I have gone through ICAI Corporate Law Committee, because I've rooted myself. Since OTP is not coming, that's okay. It had been OTP. There were many committees, publication, all of that. I have rooted through this. Why? Because I want to tell to GPT, keep your knowledge bomb confined onto this only. You don't keep on barking around elsewhere. My rules are this. Then the last thing, now I am telling to GPT that, look, I'm going to upload those documents. Very, very important for me is to sequence those documents, because in the prompt I'm going to tell you go as per sequence only. तो जो आप बोल रहे हो उसी मुताबिक इसको अरेंज करो, you will get fantastic result. So what I have done is I have told that okay, here we start. I just upload the documents. All right, I will go to my desktop and yeah, this is my CSR folder. This is my one. Always rename the PDF file. If you want to say one, say two, I got 3, 4, 5, and 6. So what I say is, just open all those and all are uploaded. But wait, don't just upload blindly. As was told, that very, very important is your prompt. You have to tell him. First, you have to tell him, now I will confine the GPT. You just go through this. Don't give any answer until I tell you. The reason is there is something else I need to give it to GPT. But I will
take the last 2 minutes.
Yes, sir. So I will give this prompt and then let it read. And then I will tell that, okay, I will also upload something called advisory. Advisory given by the Institute for Independent Practitioners for CSR. And then I will tell that these are the files. You please upload it and give me the certificate. So it gives me the certificate. Well, now I will show it will give the certificate. I will copy and convert it to PDF. Now I would like to show the second part of it. Python, we are always, it looks very, very complicated. No, it is not complicated. You have to tell what you want. So what I've done is, I have got it from GPT. I told to GPT that you give me a Python code which uploads my whatever files that I want to upload. So here, I have written that Python code here. The blue part, I can always edit it, but due to want of time, will not go much there. So I just copy paste that Python code here. I just run it. It is very simple. It is the simplest. See, it runs. It tells me to select the file. I select, let's say randomly select any file. And if you can see, it will ask me an email address because I prompted like this. You tell me the email address in a different this thing. So I tell the email address, I give it OK. When I give the OK, it will open my Outlook and bring it for me. Of course, here due to since time constraints, here if you can see, it has come up. It has come up. If you can see that PDF file got attached here, my certificate, what I am to do is just send. So point is that something looks very, very complicated, but things are very, very easy. Only thing is my last slide now, you should know what you want from GPT. And the trick lies, sir, yes, sir. The trick lies that you do all the tests with GPT. Last, when you are happy with the code, you just ask one question to GPT. Itni sari baatein humne ki. That was the long thing. Now you shorten the thing and give him the correct prompt. So when I develop this Python code, this has given me the prompt. Now this will go into my library as a permanent asset code, so I need not interact more next time when I am with Python or GPT. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. This was very nicely explained. And this is something which we are also trying to do in the AICA level 1 course, that be it Python, be it ChatGPT, it's not about what these tools are or how complicated these tools are. There's always a way around that. We can always simply ask the ChatGPT as to what the Python code is or what the RPA script is and get our work done. So brilliant presentation, especially the way you've included your step-by-step process of the workflow, which is required for generating a particular certificate. It's not something that can be done just with a single prompt. It has to be step by step, and this has been lovely. The input, the prompt, as well as the output. Now, I'll just again remind the viewers to please continue the voting for the participants, the panelists. And with that, let's move to our next speaker, CA Pranav Pratik Tulshan. He'll be discussing about using AI to get your personal office assistance. I think that's something which is another aspect of the practice, which is very relevant for chartered accountants. So, sir, the platform is yours.
Thank you so much. Just wanted to confirm if my audio and video is coming fine.
Yes.
Thank you. So good evening, everyone. First of all, thanks to ICAI for the wonderful platform it has created in terms of AI Hackathon. And yes, kudos to ICAI for the 100 episodes of ICAI, AI with ICAI thing. Now, I would present with my topic, which is use of AI to get your personal office assistant. We all know that the power of AI, we have seen so many demonstrations. It helps us to streamline our workflows. It helps us to bring more accuracy in whatever work we were already doing. And overall, it helps us to save our time so that we can focus on giving more value to our clients. So in the consideration of what client gives to us, we can focus on how we can give him the better results in terms of adding more value to his processes and making him more aware of what other technologies he can be using. So for today's demonstration, I'm giving you one of the many use cases. I'm giving one use case. So let us see a story of our CA Solo. So he's a solo practitioner and his junior executive have just made a mess. He has created so many files and he has placed all the files in one single folder. So it's a hydration reminder. You should drink water. So let me just pause and drink. So by the way, that's again an AI assistant I've created for me who just reminds me to drink water. So as we were saying, so his junior has created a mess. He has placed all the files in one single folder and given random names. As you can see, the names are not so accurate. The client name lies from Tata, somewhere Tata Consultancy, Tata Consult. So there are different spelling mistakes and all are in the single folder. So what he wants to do, the goal is to get organized effortlessly because he cannot go around renaming all these and then creating all those folders manually. So he wants some effortless way to get organized. So what are the steps he has to follow? The first step is to first tag all the files, that which files pertain to which client, which service it pertains to, whether it's a GST related or accounts related or income tax related, and which year it pertains to. If I go back and show you the names, you can see the TP audit, basically it pertains to income tax. 2023 means it pertains to that year, and Wipro is the client name. And you can see below GSTR1 Tata, Jan 24-23. So in this way, 3 things are mentioned. So we want to categorize and tag each file with what client, what service, and what year it pertains to. That is the first step. Second step, the most manual thing is to rename all those files now. How will be renaming? Because we want the names to be accurate, because whenever we send to the client, it's to give a good impression that the name has been correctly written. And the step 3, again, a mammoth work, is to organize it into multiple folders. Like if we have 5 clients, we want to organize into the 5 folders. Then we want to create a subfolders of each service type, GST, income tax accounts. And then year-wise, we want to move the files. So this is the 3 steps that we want to do. Let me just show you how he wants the final output to look like. So this is the collection of all the 100 files that we have, all messed up in one single folder. And he wants that inside each, he wants to create these 5 folders with name of each client. And then inside each service type, he wants to create year, and inside that he wants to keep the file. So that is the goal of the demonstration. So let's see how he's able to do that. So let's see AI in action. How will be categorizing, correcting, and organizing these files. And mind it that we won't be uploading any files to ChatGPT, because again, these might contain some sensitive data, and we don't want to upload so many files to the cloud. So let's see how we are going to achieve it. So the first step is, since I said I'm not going to upload any of the files, so we want to at least upload the file names, the names of all the files, right? So how we can do that? Simply Control A, right click, and there's an option called copy as path. If you do this, you can simply paste and you'll get the names of all the files, all the 100 files, names will come. So as you can see, it's appearing a bit messy because all the complete path has come. I just want the file names. So in Excel, we all know there's a replace option. So we can simply go replace this much and done. So we got the file names. So we have this file's name. We can enter it like this, also copy pasting, but a better way is using a text join. I have just joined it and made a simple one single text of all the file names. So the goal is to again get the service type, the year, and the client name against each of these. So let's ask our AIs. We have Gemini and ChatGPT. So these are the links to these. These are public links. We can share this as well for the participants to go through later on. So I've asked ChatGPT of, hey, I need your assistance in classification activity. It's always good to bring a background to the ChatGPT what we want to do. I have a list of file names. I want you to classify and categorize those file names based on some logic. Are you ready? He said, yes, of course, I'm ready. So basically, I have the list of 100 files, and below is the classification criteria. We have to give on what basis do we want to classify. So each files need to be tagged with 3 things: the client name, and we have given the client name. We don't want it to guess what is the client name, because it's always better that we know these are the correct client names. Out of these 5 only, you have to categorize. So this is the client name. Service type will be either GST or income tax or accounts. So how will ChatGPT know how to categorize? So we have given him the rule. Under GST, files will be like GSTR1, GSTR2B, GSTR3B. If file name has anything, it will be GST. If the file name has something like ITR3, ITR6, TP audit report, it will come under income tax. And if file name has something called balance sheet, profit and loss, cash flow, audit report, it will come under accounts. This is a service type classification. And third is the year. Okay, the poster reminder again that we should be sitting straight. So this is my second assistant who helps me to make a correct poster. Sorry for the interruption again. So yeah, we were saying to the year. So in the year, we have given him 3 possible options: 23-24, 24-25, and 22-23. So we have given him that we have months like April 24, like the explanation of the financial year. We have done the entire prompt, and we have said, I want you to provide output in 5 columns for each file name. And the 5 columns will be original file name, client name, service type, year, and revised file name. And based on this, I want that these file names to be classified. I've pasted all the file names, and you can see it has given me a wonderful table structure, which I can copy paste directly in Excel. But if you see in the year, it has given me unknown in many cases. ChatGPT couldn't figure out which year it was. So I took help of Gemini. Maybe it was better. Same prompt, nothing changed in the prompt. And if you see Gemini did a wonderful work of identifying all the years. And it has given me all the year in all the cases. We can export it to sheets and get the data. So, and also one thing, if you would notice, I have also asked it to give a revised file name. Like if the Reliance name was given as Reliance, I asked it to Reliance, the name should be proper, right? So in that way, if you see Mahindra, like any original name, it has correctly revised the file names as well and given me the table. So this is how the table looks like. So this is the 100 files and the tables it has given, just simply copy paste. It's the output from AI, no changes made. Now, if you see, as we know, AI is not 100% accurate. It makes errors, right? So you can see in Tata Consultancy, it has made an error. It revised the file name as Tata Consultancy. So these are always manual checks has to be done. And let's see for other things, whether it did some error there as well or not. Infosys, everything is Infosys, great. And let's see one more, Tata Consultancy, everything is Tata Consultancy. So client name, it has accurately identified. Let's go to service type accounts. You'll see all profit and loss, cash flow, profit and loss, audit report, it has correctly done under accounts. If you see GST, all the GSTR 3B, GSTR 1, and all GST have been kept under service type. And year is also, let's see if it's correctly identified, November 23-24, it has been correctly done. In the names, we have few errors. So definitely, as we would review an article work, we have to review AI's work.
The last 2 minutes, please.
So these are the manually reviewed and correctly file names done. And now the second prompt was to make the folders, rename and segregate it. So again, I did the same prompt to AI that I want to move it. Like what I want to do, I did return it exactly. I have this Excel file with these tables, and I want to move all these files to the folders. It has given me step-by-step process of how we can do, and I've also written. I don't want to use any software or any coding or anything. I don't want to do any coding. So that is where it has given me of how we can write this command, and we can have this bat file to be created. So the simple command, as the AI said me, I'll just copy paste it. Come to this folder, right click on it, go to text document, move files. We can give any name, and the output which it gave me, I'll save it and run it. So as you can see, one bat file created, and here's the magic. Simply double clicking on it, some commands get run, and you see everything got sorted as per the classification which we have done. Under accounts, under the year, we got the files, audit report and all. So this is how you can quickly, one small use case of how quickly he did all the categorization, correction, and the organization of the files, and also the file names got renamed, if you see. So all these steps were done in a single use case. So as we said, AI is not sufficient in itself. We have to know some other small tools as well. So this was my thing about AI. Things we have to be careful about. Verification of AI output, that is something that has to be done. So thanks for watching, everyone. Some behind the scenes fun fact: the 100 misspelled names, which the files that was also generated through AI. The 100 actual files, I created those files using AI by using a Python code. We created the files. The water reminder app and the poster reminder app, which you saw in the screen coming, that was also created using AI. All the images that are used in this presentation are created through AI. None of the images are Google generated or something. It is generated through AI, and this entire presentation is also generated through AI. So this is just a showcase of how we can actually use AI into doing multiple work. So I would really, it's a great platform, and I want to connect and collaborate with everyone who is working on the AI field. And thanks to AI, thanks to ICAI for giving this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. This was a lovely presentation, and I think having data which is completely arranged and structured takes you a long way. Definitely makes your life easier, and now we have a tool to do that. Again, in conjunction with different other tools. And in true sense, I suppose you're completely AI empowered with your presentation till your use case completely built up by AI. So that's great. So thank you. And now let's move to our final speaker for the day, CA Amit Shenoy, sir. He'll be discussing about using AI in day-to-day practice. So, sir, the platform is completely yours. Please proceed.
Thank you, sir. Today, there is a massive adoption of AI in our industry. And in this context, it is essential to follow certain steps to have a better results in our work. And I would like to show 5 steps which we can adopt in our practice to get good results. One is data security aspects. Since we are all using extensively using AI, it is essential to sign off. This is one of the key things which we should do in beginning itself. Second one is to get better outputs. We can use paid versions instead of using free versions, basic versions. One more is data control settings. This feature, I want to emphasize that whether you subscribe for paid version or free version, irrespective of your versions, except in enterprise level versions, your data is accessible to the AI team. I mean, if you are using GPT internal team can use it for training and quality purposes. So how to prevent them using such things is like this. You can go to settings, go to data controls. Then here, improve the model for everyone. You keep it off, you turn it off. This feature, many people are not aware. Please follow this when you are using ChatGPT, else your data is exposed to the outside world. Meaning, it cannot be accessed by external world, but it can be used by GPT team for their internal quality purposes. Again, data will be compromised. That we need to keep in our mind. Then one more thing is practicing firms should have a policy for their firm as to how users have to take certain steps before using it and what steps they need to take. So second one is enhance settings. We can customize ChatGPTs and we can make a lot of profile updations so that next time, subsequent times when you use, it knows that you're already a chartered accountant, you're practicing in direct tax, who you are, what kind of reports you want, all that it knows. So that learning curve will be there. So that subsequent attempts, you will not get any delay from ChatGPTs for subsequent questions. Then there's also a memory update feature in ChatGPT. Using that, you can store a lot of your information that I will explain in detail in the next slide. Then there's also a connected app features. For example, we all know that data can be loaded to ChatGPT paid versions from your system. In addition to that, there is also an option wherein if you have connected your drive and OneDrive, you can also send data directly from there. This is the screen using which you can link your OneDrive and Google Drive. So here it will show. As of now, my Google Drive is connected and it is showing Google Drive. It will directly show what you can send. So this is an option. Suppose if any of your data is sitting there, you can use that directly here instead of loading it to system. That is cloud-based approach. Suppose you are not carrying your system, you're outside. So directly you can link it to your just access ChatGPT. You can directly send it. This is cloud-based GPT. Is we all know that today a lot of use cases have emerged for FSLI, for audit, for accounts. There are more than 100 use cases. Still, there are a lot of unexplored use cases. For example, you can update your pending list tracker. Suppose you inform GPT that I'm doing on pending list. Then next time, whenever I said pending list, add ABC audit deadline 20th. November, pending from XYZ, like that. Next time, you can update the status has completed, like that. Like this, you can go on adding your pending list also. Suppose you want to know how many files are pending in my name. You just press generate pending list, it will generate. This is called as memory update feature. Then travel planner also you can update. Like for example, today you are going to 5 to 6 places. You can update that today 11 to 12 o'clock I was here, 12 2 to 3 p.m. I was here, like that. So at month end or weekend, you want to know where and all you had gone last few days or last few months. You can generate such reports in whatever format you want, tabular, horizontal, any form. Then also we can consider using established use cases along with unexplored. For accounts, there are a lot of use cases. For audit, there are a lot of use cases. There are industry-specific use cases, which all we can use to make good in our practice. Then also to enhance our AI skills, we can watch various videos which are there in the AI database of ICAI. And also we can enroll for ICAI AI course, which is level 1, level 2, level 3 are going to come in near future. And also we should learn how to give prompts. Using all these aspects, I feel that there's a good scope to enhance our AI skills, and using all these things, our desired output can be effectively controlled and monitored. We can have a good results. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And might I just add in this particular presentation that you have taken up a particular aspect which is very important as chartered accountants, that is of privacy, confidentiality, and most importantly, the ethical considerations which we need to take into account while choosing an AI tool.
Yes.
So I guess you're the last speaker. So this has been a wonderful hackathon. We've learned about a lot of interesting use cases, and definitely as much as we continue to use AI in our own sense, in our own office, in our own workplace, we'll definitely come up with more such use cases, and that's going to be helping the profession as a whole in growing into a completely different field. And with that, I'll just request Rishi sir to please present the concluding remarks.
Thank you, Rishi sir. It was a very enlightening presentation, and thank you to all the panelists. Good evening once again, everyone, all the viewers. As we conclude this insightful session, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our esteemed panelists, all 10 of them, for sharing their expertise and inspiring us with their innovative AI use cases. Your insights have added immense value to today's discussion. A big thank you to our viewers for your active participation and enthusiasm throughout the session. We also thank CA Rishirji for sparing his valuable time for today's webinar and being the jury for today's session. Thank you to our tech team as well. Last but not the least, we will thank our ICAI and AI leadership for guiding us through this fascinating journey of AI within ICAI.
Thank you.
Please remember the voting lines are still open for the next 5 minutes. And the contestant number 6 name was CA Tapas Ruparelia and not CA Tejas Ruparelia, as has been mentioned. So please vote accordingly. Also, please do not forget to register for the next upcoming AICAI Level 1 batches, if not done till now. We look forward to see you next week for the next episode of AI Hackathon Season 2. Until then, keep exploring and innovating. Thank you. The voting lines are open for the next 5 minutes. The contestants need to drop, they can drop. you.